Hello everyone, Auvbri here and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. Today we are doing a very special build for me. If you don't know, I am and I mean really huge Eurovision fan. It's like a big event every year for me and some of my friends, and it's just amazing. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna create my favorite scene. So there is this stage from the 2013 show that I'm absolutely in love with, and if I ever got a chance to be on a stage like that, is literally the stage that I would want to be at, because it's simply so amazing. It's so good. So I tried to create that. You can Google the Eurovision 2013 stage to kind of see what I kind of tried to recreate. It was actually really difficult to recreate because there is a lot of elements to that stage and a lot of curves and stuff that I simply wasn't able to do just because of the limitations in The Sims 4. But you know, I made it work in the end, and I think it turned out really freaking awesome. Super happy about how it turned out. So you might notice that there is like this background music, and that is my favorite Eurovision soundtrack from 2015. I thought that was absolutely amazing as well. The 2013 one didn't actually resonate that well with me, so I decided to use the one from 15 to lay over what we're doing here. So this is not actually usable for anything. I mean, it's just purely a stage to kind of show off what I was trying to do here. So I had this stage. I would have loved to have the lot a bit bigger, but you know, this is the biggest lot that you can have in The Sims 4, and you just gotta work with what you have, I guess. But yeah. So the stage here, it's actually quite big, and I tried to make it not as big, but I needed a lot of space as well, just because we have these two giant pillars that kind of takes up a lot of space, and we have this huge background kind of LED thing in real life that I tried to recreate. But first off, I wanted to have some seating areas, so that's what I'm trying to create here. And I just have to say, I didn't actually put this up on the gallery just because I have a very good gaming computer, and I mean like really good, to the point where it's like all of the newest graphic cards and RAM and all that stuff is in there. And my computer was having trouble running this because there's so many objects on screen at once here, and for some reason I don't think that the game is actually optimized for that many objects. It was kind of ridiculous. I mean, like hundreds of lights and thousands of chairs and stuff, and it was just like at some point I wanted to change the light color. You're gonna see that later as well. And it just took forever to the point that I was like, okay, why can I not select this? I thought there was a bug in the game, but it's just because the game had to load all of these items in live mode first, and then I could click stuff, and it was just like, okay, never seen this before. So I initially wanted to have 5 rows of chairs, but I thought, okay, so my game is having trouble at this point. So 4 rows should be more than enough, just to kind of create that aesthetic of having like this arena with this grand big stage in the middle. And it was actually a really fun thing to do this. Normally I build houses and stuff, you know, houses and sometimes community lots and stuff, but this was just so different. It's not something I've done before, and it was actually kind of refreshing to do something different. That's not a build that anyone is gonna live in. It was just purely for fun and decoration purposes, and I thought you know, this is really cool, and I think it turned out freaking amazing. I have this friend who's like, he's an even bigger Eurovision fan and nerd than me. And last night I sent him a picture of what the stage was looking like at this point, and it was just, I'm super happy about how it turned out. It was just so good, and and he also said immediately that looks like somebody's a fan of the 2013 stage, and it was really nice to see that he could actually recognize the stage without me even having to tell him what kind of stage it was. So yeah, that just kind of shows what kind of geeks we are. Yeah, if you have seen, like, on YouTube or Google or whatever, the 2013 stage, the reason that I love it so much is because it had like these two pillars going over the stage, and they were kind of like abstract, that's what the word is, and they had like all of these spheres and stuff going out of it, and it was just freaking awesome, and they could change color, and it was just so good. And I tried to find different objects here to kind of recreate that, and it was really difficult just to find objects to actually put in. And I literally looked through everything that I could find to find objects that I could put into the tower here. Let's just call it the tower pillar thing, to make it look as closely as possible to the original. And we went with a lot of different, very weird stuff, but I think it turned out freaking awesome in the end. I'm super happy about how it turned out. So I tried to recreate the pillars here, having them go out, and then they are kind of connected in the middle by lamps that could go up and down on demand. I didn't put as many lamps in there as there was in the original stage, just because it didn't actually fit, and the stage is a bit smaller, and still I had my limitations with the game, you know. At this point, I know you cannot see it in the sped up version here, but it was actually lagging quite a bit, especially when I started putting in lights, just because you have to realize how many chairs are actually in this place at this point, and I'm not even kidding. It's like thousands of chairs. It feels like thousands, and it was just like the game was just like, nope, not gonna do that. Excuse me. So yeah, it was lagging quite a bit here. But yeah, as I said earlier, these pillars in the original stage, they could kind of change color at will. So if an act was blue, they could go blue, and if it was like red, it could go red. So I just decided to go with a red-ish colored stage. And when we're gonna put in lights later, I'm also gonna change the lights to kind of like a orange-red look, just to kind of get that feel. And here I'm putting in the lights. It was actually quite difficult to find lights that actually looked like the one from the stage, but later on, I thought at first that these was really good. Like, they fit what I wanted to do. And later on, I was like, okay, so it's not quite the same. It's like up there, but it's not really. So later on, I'm gonna do something that makes them look even more like the lamps from the original stage, and I think it turned out very cool. So, oh yeah, also this is one of my favorite things about the stage. So there was like before each act actually started playing, there was like these lamps, and it actually looks exactly like these lamps, and they were like, they would go up and down, and like in different colors that would fit the act. And I tried to recreate that, and they would have different heights and stuff, and it was just freaking awesome. And then the camera would go from above and down to the stage, and the huge back LED thing that I'm also gonna recreate would kind of say this sound, and then it would like, it looked like it would kind of shatter from the middle and then out to the sides, and it was just like, oh, so good. So freaking good. I'm such a nerd. It was so good, and I tried to recreate that. There wasn't actually that many lights. I really wanted to have this stage lit up, so I can kind of yeah, if you just search Eurovision 2013 stage, there's gonna be like huge amounts of pictures, and Denmark actually won that year, but there's gonna be huge amounts of pictures of the stage, and there was just like lights everywhere. And at this point the game was lagging so much, and I really tried to put in more lights to you know, just get that feel of having that amazing looking stage filled with lights. And it's just it didn't want it, so that was kind of unfortunate, but yeah, here you see it. I tried to recreate it, and I think once I turned on these lights to have them kind of be orange, it was just so good. I'm really I'm super happy about how this turned out. It's so awesome. And I tried to put in some backdrop lights and different type of lights. Now these this thing that I actually deleted there was the one that I was going to use for the back LED screen thing, because that was the one that was closest to the actual thing at that time. But it was just I couldn't get it to light up, and it was just a problem with that. Not very good. So I decided to change it and kind of go with these other ones from Dine Out. And here you're gonna see I went out of the game, out of the build mode, and I couldn't actually select the lamp. And then I realized, okay, so what's going on here? I thought, is there some kind of bug? And then I realized it's because there were so many objects that the game just had to load everything first before I could actually do anything. And it was just like, that's the reason why I didn't put it up on the gallery, just because it's actually such a huge laggy build, and I don't think a lot of people's regular computers can actually run this. So if you want me to put it up on a gallery, I of course will do that, no problem there. But just keep in mind that my computer cannot, it almost couldn't run this. It was just like really super laggy and not good at all. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So on the stage here, there was like this, so this stage was a kind of square-ish looking platform, but on top of that there was like this round stage that kind of was like raised up like by only like 20-30 centimeters or something, but it had like this light around it, so you could kind of see that it was raised up, and it looked freaking awesome. I tried to recreate that, doing some lights here and making like a fake circle, because it was only in the front that it was actually raised up, so it kind of faded out into the back, so you could kind of see that it was one stage, but it was like raised up in the front, and that was really cool. Oh yeah, and the platform here in front, where the, you know, into the crowd, that was also super cool. That it had like this platform in the middle, that could kind of raise up, and Loreen actually did a very, very cool performance of Euphoria on that. And it's probably one of my favorite performances of hers, because it's just very good, very, very good. So yeah, but we're actually starting to coming to an end here. I put in as many mannequins as I could. You can only have 10. For some reason I still don't understand, but yeah, just to kind of mimic, you know, a crowd. And then I wanted to have some pyro effects, because that's always in Eurovision, and I mean like always. There's always one country that uses like these pyro effects, and the closest thing that I could come to that was actually the fountain things, and having them orange. It kind of looks like pyro, and I thought it just added that element. And then I wanted to we're pretty much done here, and then I put my sim into a nice dress and had her practice singing on the stage, and I think it turned out so awesome. I'm super happy about how it turned out. And just a shot from above where you can kind of see all of those lamps, and the two pillars. I mean, it's just from back here you can kind of see the lamps and in the top and the pillars and everything. It's just, I think it turned out freaking awesome. I'm super happy about how it turned out. Probably my favorite shot there. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for 26,000 subscribers. That's freaking insane. And yeah, there's nothing else for me to say. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and just have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world.